Well, hello, this is Margaret. Welcome back. This is our last unit video. This is in the Hebrew Word Discovery Series, Book 1, Eberith Letters. So this is Paleo-Hebrew. It is ancient Hebrew. It is the most ancient Hebrew, Eberith. Okay? You can read about the history of that in the front of the book. There are several articles in this book, not several, one or two, that you might want to read that will give you some more information about the letters and the history of Eberith. I won't be going over those, but they're there for you to read. And they are totally self-explanatory, right? So I'm glad that we're back. We're going to have just 2 letters in Unit 6 today, and then we will talk about all the practices. You can then work all the practices and find the answers in the back of the book. But I would just love for you to come into the chat after you complete those. Let me know that you've completed them and how you feel about your accomplishment. In July of 2023, I will be putting a small accomplishment quiz up on the website for you. And after you take that, you will get your completion certificate. And the completion certificate you can share on your social media if you choose. But you will get a little paper that says, I have done it. I got all the way through the letters. So that's coming up. Please don't forget. I want you to remember to do that. And so now we're going to go to page 102 and get our last couple of letters. All right. Hopefully my dogs are all going to behave while I do this. They're a little antsy tonight, because I had been recording nonstop. So, of course, I recorded 2 sessions and didn't have the microphone on. So that's, that wasn't too smart. But we're here. The microphone's on. I can see the green line, and here we go. Page 102, we're going to meet Shin and Ta. And we'll move over to page 103, and there we are seeing the letter Shin. It makes the S sound, and it is representing number 300. Here we have the Eberith and the Aramaic. They look similar, easy to recognize. The main meaning of Shin is tooth, and the additional meanings or concepts are destroy, eat, consume, point of a rock. Okay, your canine tooth is like pointed, right? Point of a rock. Okay, and we'll come back to the words in just a little bit. Now we're going to look at the next letter, which is Ta. This is the last letter. It makes the TH sound, and it represents the number 400. When you see Aleph, Ta, those 2 letters together, Aleph, Ta, in your scripture, that is telling you that Yahuwah himself is speaking, okay? So that's what that means when you see it, Aleph Ta. It is Yahuwah's mark. And Ta means mark. That's the main meaning for Ta. Additional meanings are sign to seal, join 2 things together. So Yahuwah joins you with him. He joins 2 things together. And covenant, and the method of joining you together with him is through a covenant, right? So here we have what the Ta looks like in Eberith and in Aramaic. Okay, now I would like you to go to page 105 and 106, and there you can practice writing these letters. And when you come back, we will look at some words. Alrighty, here we are. The words that we're looking at for Shin are Shabbat. Shabbat. Number 7676. That is our day of rest, as most of you will probably know. And to spell that, it is Shin Bet Ta. Shabbat. Shin Bet Ta. All right, our next letter is Shofar, that is the horn. Number 7782, shofar. That is spelled Shin, Yua, Pei, Resh. Shin, Yua, Pei, Resh. Okay. Our next word is shalom. Not just shalom, but shalom. They draw it out more than we do. And it is spelled Shin, Lamed, Ua, Mem. And that is number 7965. And of course, it means peace. You may be familiar with that already. The spelling on that again is Shin, Lamed, Ua, Mem. Okay, now we're going to take a look at some words with ta. T-A-U, ta. The first one we have is teba. That means box, like the ark. The Ark of the Covenant was a box. Number 8392, a fancy box, but a box no less. And the spelling for that is ta, bet, hey. Ta, bet, hey. Our next word is Torah, which we say Torah, but Torah is the way they say it. It is instruction. The Torah is instruction. You know, many people can have a Torah, not just Yahuwah. There were the Torah of the prophets, the Torah of the rabbis of the time, and they are the instructions of those people. But the most important Torah is the one of Yahuwah, and that's what we find in the first 5 books of Scripture is the Torah of Yahuwah. And we spell that ta, ua, resh, hey. Use your letter card if you are having trouble with any of the letters. And again, that is ta, ua, resh, hey. Okay, so now our last word in the whole book, our last word is tela'ah, and that means hardship, number 8513, and it is spelled ta, lamed, aleph, hey. I hope that these lessons have not been a hardship on you. I think the alphabet is fairly easy to learn, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Let's spell that word again. Ta, lamed, aleph, hey. All right, so the heavy breathing is coming from my dog Bailey. I do apologize. He's decided to hop up here and be on the microphone with me. All right, so now when we look at page 110, we have the skill practices for 5 and 6. And here's a challenge for you. We're just going to go over these and then you'll do them in your leisure, right? If you have a question about any of them, if you'll just put it in our chat, I'll continually looking in there and I'll answer your questions. You can also reach me through email, which is at narrowpathbooks@icloud.com. Either way, you can reach me either way, okay? So on 112, page 112, it's time to put the alphabet in order. And this time, you're going to put the entire alphabet in order. Now, try to do it without your study chart card. But if you need the card, you need the card, okay? So, you know the drill. The first block on the right-hand side is going to be Aleph. And the last block on the page 113 is going to be Ta. And that will be on the left side, okay? So I know that you all will do a great job with those. And if you want to write your letters in small and then check them and realize you made a mistake, you have more room to write them again and try again, okay? So that's what you do there. On page 114, you're going to match up the sound with the letters. You've done this several times now. I think you'll be very successful with that. We go over to page 115 and 116, and all of the letters would like you to recognize them in the blocks. So we can do that. They are all mixed up. Some of them have dots all the way around and some do not. I think I'll have to correct that in a future edition. But they're all there, so you can put their icons in the block and check that. Moving over to page 117 and 118, now you're going to put in each block the main meaning for the letter on the left side of the block. So what is the main meaning for pay, for tazi, for kuf, for resh, shin, ta, and then two bonuses, het and yod. See if you can remember those, okay? All right. Page 119, you'll go back through, the last half of the book and find the pictorial letters or the Eberith icons for the words, the Hebrew words that you see listed there. And you also want to put what the English word is for it. So if you remember, peri was fruit, so fruit would be that answer there. And then you would spell that word out in the Paleo Eberith letters. Once you have that worksheet completed, then check your Paleo letters. And now if you have all the Paleo letters correct, then you want to move over to page 120 and find all those words in the worksheet. They're all there. It doesn't look like there's enough letters, but there are. They're all in there. And then you'll find the answers in the back of the book. Now we do have a skill practice challenge, which you will probably find something very similar on the website to get your certificate, okay? It'll be very similar to this. And the format might be different because it is handled in the computer, but this might be what you're looking at, okay? So on page 123, and try to do this without looking back, all right? You want to take the Paleo-Hebrew word, the Hebrew word, Bokar, Gan, Din, Abba, and you want to circle the English meaning of that Hebrew word. So we know that Bokur is morning, so I'll give you one, okay? So there it is. And so that's what you do there. All right, then on page 124, this one's always a little tricky for people, but you have a column with the numerical value of the letters, and then you have the Paleo word for the letters. You have a blank column, and you have the meaning of the letters. The meanings of the letters are not in the same order as the first two columns. So, which word, look at door. Which letter is door? Which letter has the main meaning door? The answer to that is Dalet. And what is the numerical value of Dalet? It is 4. 4 is the answer that goes on the blank, in the blank box next to the word door. So I hope that makes sense. You go all the way through the chart like that. And then you're going to have this fun. This is fun. So as you know, we learned that each letter on page 125 has a numerical value. In these blocks, you need to put the letter that matches the value. So number 300 on 126, the letter that matches that value is shin. You would write a shin in that block. After you have got all the letters in there, a bonus would be to go back and identify all of the vowels, 5 of them. See if you can identify them. When you move over to page 129, you're going to find the answers for all of the practice sheets in the book. And behind that, you find your flashcards, but remember, you can also download the PDF of the flashcards and not have to cut up your book. So they're there for you. I really hope that you have enjoyed getting to know the Eberith Paleo letters, and that you will continue on with our book on the grammar, the very simple grammar for Eberith. It's not as complex as it is for Aramaic Hebrew. And you can either go to that next, or you might decide that you want to go straight to the letters workbook. So the one that I have out right now, June 2023, as I'm making this recording, is for Aleph. So the Aleph workbook gives you 100 words that start with Aleph, and you have different challenges throughout the book to learn the words, how they're spelled and how they sound. And then, the flashcards for these words are on the website for you. There's a glossary on the website for you. The glossary is there in English order, Hebrew order, and Strong's order. So however you want to look it up, you're able to do that. It's a great little book to introduce you to 100 words. They are separated into 10 worksheets. There's 10 letters on 10 words for each worksheet. And I think that you will have a good time working through them. And you never know, there may be some activities on the website regarding this vocabulary book. There certainly will be a challenge concerning this book on the website, so that you can earn a certificate saying that you made it all the way through. So there's a grammar book waiting for you now, and there's an Aleph workbook. The Bet workbook is in progress as we speak. Please continue. Please continue. This is the language of Yahuwah, and he would very much like you to learn it. We have scriptures written in Eberith, and we are going to make those available. We are going to find a way to study those, to transcribe them, to translate them, whichever word you want to use. We may do that live together. But so we are headed, that's the direction we're headed. I hope you will stick with us and take this class as many times as you would like to. It's there for you. I put it up there for everybody. The grammar classes will be coming up between July and August of 2023. I'm going to be working on those shortly. And we'll have another workbook out, hopefully before the end of July. Bet will be out. The goal is to put out a vocabulary workbook every 6 weeks until all 22 are up. So I hope you'll enjoy the journey and come along with me. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing your comments in our chat. Bye for now.